What's up guys, KingSeth64 here, and today I'm going to show you some tips and tricks I've learned in Minecraft Dungeons. And I don't mean to brag or anything, but I have a couple of hours on Minecraft Dungeons. 860 to time of recording. So, I know a couple of things about the game. So, I'm going to go into my main character and show you what I'm currently using. I'll show you some other things I've learned too. So, let's get right in the video, shall we? Now, as you can see right here, they're teasing some new content right there. They posted an image on Twitter. It's like a very zoomed in of that picture. It was at like the bottom right corner, I believe, where the mission stand is. It's going to be something. I don't know what. I don't think it's going to be new DLC. But if it is, I'll be more than happy to play it. We need some new content here anyway. But anyway, we're going to go straight into it. So this is my current hero. Ignore the level, I'll explain that later, but this is power 250. It could go higher with some of the gear I currently have. This is just what I've been using. So yeah, I'm going to go into it. Alright, so here we are at camp. I'm currently using speedrun gear. I'll get into that in a minute. So, if I go into my gear, this is just kind of just my casual playthrough when I don't want to take the game that seriously. So, so this right here is one of my favorite bows of all time. It's got multi-shot, piercing, and chain reaction on this bad boy. So, I'll show you right now actually. As you can see, it shoots quite a few arrows, and it pierces. So you can imagine this going through some people. And fighter's bindings. You don't need to play the game. So this is Gilded Fighter's Bindings with Shockwave, Radiance, and Critical Hit. Pretty standard stuff. Now Shockwave's really good on Fighter's Bindings for this reason right here. You just stand back and do this with Death Cap Mushroom, which is this thing right here. This thing is the best artifact in the game, hands down. The best. So I explained Harp Crossbow and Fighter's Bindings. And I've shown you how crazy they can be, but that's just for a casual playthrough, except for Fighter's Bindings. These are kind of try-hard. This right here, though, is kind of just speedrun higher difficulties, but be more safe about it. So cooldown, protection, and luck of the sea. So I can just keep using my artifacts quicker and just run through the level. And if I get hit, 35% damage reduction and potion cooldown. This right here used to be really top tier until they nerfed Sulk, the Torment Quiver. You could stack up Dynamo, which is not this bow in particular, but you could stack up Dynamo, and it would keep Dynamo as long as you had the using Torment Quiver, because it wouldn't go away, and that would do millions of damage at a time. And times this by 3 for Winter's Touch. This thing, the auto crossbow. So it's got Infinity, which is really good for auto crossbows. Fuse Shot, which I think is pretty good for auto crossbows. And Rapid Fire, it just makes it faster. Why wouldn't you? A little closer. And just keep going. All the way around. Just pure chaos. I love it. This is not the perfect Wither Armor. By no means. Not perfect in any way, shape, or form. This has one very bad enchantment, Fire Trail. If this would have Snowball, top tier. So Chilling, Cooldown, and Fire Trail. Wither Armor has built-in healing with damage reduction. Let me show you. Let me go damage myself real quick, and I'll be back with you. All right, so I hurt myself pretty bad. Watch how fast I heal. And just like that, just by hitting people. And just keep doing this, as long as you have Death Cap Mushroom. It's perfect. I would recommend getting cooldown, and chilling would be a good option. Snowball was a very good option. It stuns very powerful enemies. I'd say that would be perfect combo. If not, luck to see if you just want to keep grinding. This is my speedrun gear. Right here. Just full on speedrun. So, with this, with these 3 artifacts equipped, I just run around and just go with the increased movement speed and Ghost Globe. Boost of Swiftness and Death Cap Mushroom, which all 3 give movement speed buffs. So this is like top of the line speedrun gear. Now, you can find this with double cooldown. It's not as good. It doesn't stack properly. It gives like an extra 10 to 20% with the extra one. It's not worth it at all. It's much worth having Luck of the Sea or something else like Lucky Explorer or Prospector for grinding. Alright, so I actually have some history to tell about this thing right here. This thing used to be a one-shotter for any mob in the game. Any mob. Bosses, mid-bosses, all enemies, whatever. So this thing, if you had Pain Cycle on it, it would keep racking up damage. Because it says deals absorb damage during attack combo. That really played into effect. So you would like attack twice, it would damage you. But then on that final hit, it would do about 3 billion damage, or 3 trillion, I can't remember how big it was. But this would insta-kill any mob in the game. Anything. And just keep, like, just 3-hit combo, they're dead. Even on, like, Apocolypse plus 25. But sadly, it got nerfed, so you can't really do it anymore. It's sad, I know. This armor right here, this is basically the Wither armor just reskinned. This was gotten from the Halloween event that happened, I believe last October. The spookier fall event or whatever it was called. This thing is basically that. This is a really good tank and just all-around survivor of armor. Because it has cooldown, Death Barter, and Chilling. Which Death Barter, if something ridiculous happens, that's just... I'm just going to bring out like 10 burning mobs and put them all around you at the same time, dealing 10 times burning damage. It's going to insta-kill you, especially on higher difficulties. Death Barter prevents that and gives you iframes to escape out of there. And you don't die and you don't lose a life because of something stupid. It's really good. I needed it a couple of times. It looks really cool too. Let me put back on my Fire Binding. And just go all in. Same thing. Same thing with armor, just looks cooler and it's limited edition. And at least look a mini little fire trail. Who likes that? Spin Blade. Now, this is an okay artifact. Many folks will say. I personally like it because it goes through thorns, it goes through deflect. Like, it just gives damage to mobs for free. This thing can also go through walls. It's really good. And I didn't mean to put it there. What's amazing too is that when you throw it, it'll come back to you, but you just keep making it go around and around the circle. Just keep racking up damage. And then it has like a 5-second cooldown. And if you have cooldown, you just bring it back faster. It's really cool. So there we go. Circle back around, kind of aim it. There you go. It can just keep going. And I believe there's a achievement in the game if you get like 70 hits with it in one throw. It's an achievement, whatever. So there's that. Ironhide. I think I had a different setup. I don't remember exactly what it was months back. Oh, I think it was Torment Quiver, right? Because the thing I talked about earlier. But now for me, it's Ironhide, Death Cap Mushroom, Boost of Swiftness. So I can just basically just have increased defense, increased attack speed, and increased movement speed at all times. It's just basically just a powered up character. And then if a boss comes along, I just quickly throw up some Gong of the Weakening because it decreases their defense and and decreases their offense, which means you just stand right next to a boss and just do like 3 times damage, and they do less damage to you. I forget how much decrease it is. Enchanter's Tome, good if you have pets or other players playing with you. Now, what we did with some of my friends is that they had an auto crossbow with a fuse shot, like I showed earlier. We put it on them. It gave them double acceleration, and good God, the fire rate I had earlier, times that by 2. Shadow Shifter. So this thing is really good. I had to use it a couple of times during some daily trials that would decrease your health by 75% and just buff mobs. Any mob was a one-shot to you at that point. So what we can do here with this thing, it has a 26.4 second duration. You could use it and just quickly run through the level without getting detected or hit. As long as you don't attack people and just keep going. And 4, 3, 2, 1. That's about 26 free seconds of me just running through the level. It does use souls. You can see how much of the meter it used down there. Okay, this is one cool thing I do want to show you, because this is just for style and nothing else. Fireworks arrow with the harp crossbow. Pure chaos. So yeah, all those arrows would become fireworks. Kaboom. If you have any sort of hunter's armor or archer's armor, because they're the same armor, keep that if you have a bow with low ammo. So what you want to do is that when you find an arrow bundle, put on this armor, pick it up so that you get 10 free arrows with it. And then you put back on your armor you already had, and the arrows stay. It's amazing. It just increases your ammo by 10 arrows every time. It's top tier. Especially for exploding crossbow, which you get 10 arrows per bundle anyway. You're doubling your arrows. It's great. So that's my biggest advice for people who use low ammo. Alright, so Bubble Burster. My new favorite bow in the entire game. It is good for one reason. 2 reasons. One is that it creates bubbles around enemies, stunning them and damaging them once they get popped. And the other thing, reliable ricochet. If you charge an arrow and fire it, it will ricochet 100% of the time. It is the best ricochet in the game. More power than the trick bow. More ammo than the trick bow. It's just better in that way altogether. You can find this in the ocean levels. It's the unique version of the bubble bow, obviously, because it's Bubble Burster. And yeah, Overcharge. Overcharge 2. Not that. Overcharge. The best bow enchantment, if not infinity. Overcharge can charge a weapon 4 times, dealing massive damage. Need I say less? It is great. And I used it a couple of times, which really saved me from some very high level Vindicators. And especially Bubble Burster gets the 4 times charge hit in, and then it pops the bubble, and boom. Just like that. They're dead. Tempo Theft. Tempo Theft is really good. I say 3rd or 2nd best in my opinion. You hit a mob with it, and it steals their HP and gives it to you. Not HP, gives your speed and gives it to you. So when you shoot them, especially with tier 3, you get 50% of their speed for 4 seconds. And it slows them down for 4 seconds. It's just trading speed, and it's amazing. So if you want to run from something, or keep distance, keep shooting them with Tempo Theft, and it keeps them back while you can keep running. It's great. Piercing. Really love Piercing. Goes through all mobs. Not all mobs, but any mob it hits. It just goes right through and just keeps on going until it hits a wall. really good. Recommend it if you have piercing. That's nothing else good on it, like overcharge or temp of death or infinity. If it's one of those, go for them first. I could do Apocolypse plus 25. You know what? Let's just do it. I'm gonna show you the difficulty of Apocolypse plus 25. All right, so here we are in Creeper Woods with our current loadout. Let's see. It's the wrong fighter's bindings. I'm an idiot. Excuse me, I gotta find my right fighter's binding. There we go. So just keeping them back. Has some increased defense, strength. Start down here. Easy. How much did I hit for it? Yeah, I was like, come on. Let's go. Easy game. And just keep going. Harp crossbow. Just hit so many at once. Do that. Sorry if the gameplay's a little laggy. This is on Switch. It's the only thing I have microtransactions on, so I can't get a better frame rate than this. I'm sorry. Shooting many arrows at a time. Easy. And if I just want to go to Shockwave, fighter's bindings. Keep it back. The Enderman's not here, which is sad. This loot I'm not getting. There you go. Easy. And then, if you need to heal, just run up to a mob and just hit it with fighter's bindings. There you go. You back up. I haven't even touched my potion yet. And this is max difficulty. Now, I will say this. For anyone who is Apocolypse plus 25 and you're looking to do some harder, actually, no, not just Apocolypse plus 25, just any difficulty, and it's a daily trial. It's not just adding modifiers. That's not just, pay attention to the number that is on the daily trial symbol. That'll tell you how much harder is it going to be. So, for example, the epic challenge, which is 3, the Roman numeral 3, it'll make that level seem like Apocolypse plus 28, and it is very difficult. Even with this gear, it is difficult, because you will die in stupid ways. It's crazy. And especially with those modifiers, like I mentioned earlier. It's crazy. We're gonna see if one particular mob is in here. Oh, hey, there's Enchanties. I call them Enchanties, don't mind me. They have much more health, and they sometimes hit harder. It's amazing. Not really. That's sarcastic. Hopefully you have Shockwave on these fighters' bindings. Just run in on them. Yeah, if you also use your harp crossbow just to go right next to people, all the arrows hit them at once, and it's insane. Oh, there it is. The raid captains. Oh, I got some things to say about the raid captains. Raid captains, when you defeat them, they drop banners. And the banners will make the level harder no matter what. So if it's mystery, it'll add a random modifier, like damage decrease, mobs have more health, mob speed increase, all that type of stuff. Even night mode. If you don't know what night mode is when a player's down and you have to revive them, but there's just mob spawning. That's what it is. So this is a threat banner that just dropped. This will just increase the level's overall difficulty. Mob health, mob damage, just overall that. I'm not going to collect this because I don't want to make this more difficult than it has to be. Because things could get dicey, even with this. it may seem easy. It's not. This is just lucky rolls. But I'm showing you what enchantments are good for me. So you can go with whatever enchantments you really prefer. This is just what I use. And it's been working out for me, so I might as well share my thoughts with it. So let's go this way. Alright. I'm gonna stunt on this creeper real quick. Not with that. Well, yeah, with that. It's so funny every time. Alright, let's see if I can get the glitch to happen. So let him spawn in. Run through the door. Keep letting him spawn in. Keep letting him spawn in. What do you know? They stand still until you come up really close to them. It's a really funny glitch that happens. And then once you go close to... Easy! Makes this room much easier. Oh my goodness gracious. If you don't have the village version yet, then he's in here. He's in back here with all these emeralds. Alright, so I think I showed off enough of this armor. I'm gonna try some other stuff. Alright, so I put on some new gear. Wither armor, like this. And this. Actually, no. Instead of wither armor, I'm gonna use this thing. It's the same thing. It's higher level. So same armor, just reskin with a little bit different enchantments. And I'm replacing the iron hide with the shadow shifter, so I can show you that in this scenario. I just have it equipped to get souls. That's all. Take care of these. And this has chilling, so it makes them slower in their attack speed. I'm also going to change my bow to something better. Better in my opinion, because it'll just do that. Yeah, just like that. Overcharge is really good, by the way. Just going to let you know that right now. Whenever you have overcharge, do it. It's stupid not to. Easy. I am just going to let this play out until I have enough souls. Once I do, we'll see the Shadow Shifter in action. See you in a bit. Alright, so I have it equipped. Now what I'm going to do is, now that I've shown you that armor, swap over to my speedrun gear. And when I cut out some enemies, like this, you just run right through them. And you just keep going. Just keep going. See how many enchanted mobs there are here? And then I got to the house for free. You see, if you just want to just go past all mobs, there you go. That's how you do it. High power Shadow Shifter. Alright. I might as well... I might die for this, but I'm going to do speedrun gear next. with harp crossbow. And let's see how it goes with speedrun. Ooh, piggy. No. There we go. Easy. Spear. Spear's okay. It's good for long range, that's pretty much about it. There's others that are better. Oh, I didn't even see the Endermans. Yeah, boss mob. And I'm trapped. Just keep him back. And just stand next to him, and he'll die. It's going better than I thought it would be, I'm not gonna lie. Especially with speedrun gear, I'm so squishy right now. You see how much damage I take just from burning? It's crazy. Moving on. Oh, tempo theft? Oh, that's scary. Don't like that. Come on. There you go. Just like that. Free the villagers. Shadow shift. He's still trying to attack me. Somehow still knows where I am. Use my potion for the first time. That's also another important thing to note, is that on Apocalypse plus 25, or it gets higher the more you go into Apocalypse plus, but on Apocalypse plus 25, your potion only heals you 60%, so it's not going to be a full recovery like in other times. Keep that in mind. Oh, this might get dicey. Villagers are just a pain in general. I'm gonna try to live this. So quick my health just goes down. Another spear. No. Easy. Just keep him back with Fire's Blindness because it just keeps him in place. It's amazing. Firing Barrage. And this is pretty much the recommended power level too. The level said 249, and this is 250 or lower. So, daily trials and ancient hunts, I say, is going to be your most difficult, to say the least. And no, I'm not going through every single passageway, just because I kind of just want to run through this level. But this is why I have speedrun gear on. That's bad. Thorns, Fire Trail, and Electrified. Thorns and Electrified are just killers. Like that. You just shoot them and you die for it. Oh boy. We're running around. There you go. Get the apple. Peel off the sheep. Get another apple. Hopefully they die. One did. That was very dumb, but I did anyway. Alright, we got some health back, and some strength. Alright, we're good now. So things like that can happen, that can just kill you instantly. Not really instantly, but you know. They can really put some damage on. And I'm back to full HP. Not even with my potion. Alright, the last portion. Okay. I'm just gonna run through because I don't really care.
These villages are free from the clasp of the villagers.
So that was the demonstration of that was a demonstration of how my armor works. Okay, so now what I want to do is tell you some things that have changed from day one. So, new players that come in, they don't know all this stuff was never here. It was 2 shops up here. Blacksmith and Village Merchant did not exist. This was a random artifact dealer, wandering trader. Spend emeralds, get a random artifact. Any artifact in the game. Just gives it to you randomly. This was the blacksmith, but he did something completely different. He gives you a random gear. Armor, weapon, armor, melee, or ranged. And he would just give it to you random power level. Same with the artifact guy. But the sad thing is, before, you didn't have this blacksmith, so if you could not upgrade weapons or strip salvage points and keep the weapon. You would have to salvage your weapon to get your enchantment points back. Because if you wanted to keep 2 pieces of gear, but you didn't have enough enchantment points for both, and you had one in the back of your inventory that you weren't using but had enchantment points on it, and you wanted to keep that weapon really bad, which is why it's been in the back of your inventory, you would have to salvage it to get the enchantment points for it. It was something else, to say the least. It was not really that good. Storage chest, never here. The tower over there, never there. It came in about, I want to say, 10 months ago. It was Cloudy Climb, whenever that season came out, because it's season 2 right now. That's when it came out. But yeah, it used to be only loot boxes. Ancient Hunts did not exist. None of the DLCs exist, obviously. Some levels did not exist. Lower Temple was added in after I think Dingy Jungle was added. Lower Temple was added. Underhalls, I believe, same thing. No, that was still in. Gauntlet of Gales is a free level that they added in. You don't need the Mountain DLC to get this. And they decided that you can get these artifacts for just playing this level if you don't have the DLC and you just really wanted them, because some of these are not bad at all. Like Chandra's Tome, if you're using pets, go for it. If you're playing co-op, go for it. Daily Trials did not exist until Dingy Jungle. So, and then the Cloud Backup also did not exist either. Cross-platform did not exist. So, if your friends were playing on different consoles, you couldn't play with them. That's just what it was. Now, I want to show you something that that new players probably won't know. But once you beat the game once on default, this will appear over here. So you go over here, and you run past these trees, over to the church over here. And you press the lever right here to lowest the strawberries for easy access, quality of life. You go through the church. This is a beautiful church, by the way. This door would not be open. This would be closed with a button on it. Press the button, and the little triangle on the left will appear. It will be lit up. And there's these ruins right here, which will not be lit up. You have to go in each main mission, not including DLC, and go through all the missions, and locate secret rooms that had these runes inside. But luckily for you, if you don't know where they are, there's a doggy right here that you can click on, and it'll reveal a little hint art of where the room is in a level. It won't tell you the level, it'll just show you a picture, and you have to guess what level it is, and it shows you a surrounding object that is near it. It kinda helps. It's not the best teller, which I guess is kinda good. But inside this door, I'm not gonna show you what's inside the door. But just know, it's worth your time. That's what I would say. It's worth your time. So what I'm gonna do now is go through each main mission and show you where the locations are. If you don't want to see this part, skip ahead. If you want to find them for yourself. I'm just going to show you where they are, just for people who need it. And I will be going on default, just so I can just speedrun. And I'll meet you back up in the first room. Alright, so we're coming up on the location of it. So what you're going to do is go over here. And this structure right here will open. Don't go in yet, or it's a soft lock. Just don't go in yet. There is a button right here in this rock. Press that to get rid of the soft lock. So you go in here, and there'll be this room. This is the same room where all secret artifacts or secret runes are. You press the button, and the rune will appear right there. And then you just stand right here, you press A or click it, and then you'll get the rune. And you can actually, once you get it, leave the level once the autosave is done. Once the autosave is done, leave the level. There you go. Second rune, Soggy Swamp. Alright, so this is at the end of the level in Soggy Swamp. The longest one, in my opinion. This first button, right here in these mushrooms. The door opens, right there. Brings you back to this room. Just go in and get the rune. Simple as that. Once autosave is done, leave the level. Third ruin, Pumpkin Pastures. By the way, you don't have to go in order. I'm just showing my order. That's just me. But you can go in any order you want. You don't have to go in this order. Alright, so we're coming up on the rune here. There's a button behind these boxes on this side of the fortress. And you go in, and you get it. Get the rune. Just like that. There's one more thing here, though, that I didn't point out earlier. Is that if you fall right here, secret chest. Easy, done. Third ruin, Cacti Canyon. Did you know that in Cacti Canyon there's a secret chest sometimes right here? You get it. If not, there'll be a platform right about there that you roll to, and there's a secret chest there too. Alright, so we're coming up on the fourth ruin. There's a button behind here in the blue key area. Opens the door. Go in, and here it is. Fifth ruin, Desert Temple. So we're coming up on the fifth ruin. It is, the lever's right here on the wall, next to where the golden key is, right here on the wall. You go in, and boom, there you go. Sixth ruin, Redstone Mines. coming up on the 6th ruin. In this area, there is a button. Right there. Next over here. Press it, door opens. Go in. And here it is. 7th ruin. Fiery Forge. Coming up on the 7th ruin, this is the shortest one to find. Get to the outside area, go up to this wall next to the dead redstone golem, and the door opens. Go in, and grab yourself a ruin. It's free of charge. 8th ruin, High Block Halls. Alright, so we're here at the 8th rune. There's a blown out torch right here. You tilt the torch. And the door opens. You grab the rune and leave. The final rune, of course, is an Obsidian pinnacle. Alright, we're here at the final rune. Simply, the blue book right there, click it, push it in. The door opens so you can see what's behind there. Now, if you are finding this for the first time, after you click the rune, diamond chest will be right here, or obsidian chest, as people call it. There'll be one right here. And it's only there for one time once you first find this room. And sometimes there's a gold chest back here. Pretty easy stuff. So that's all of your runes for this game. And that'll unlock the door that is behind the church there. And you can see what's inside for yourself, so I'm not going to spoil it for you. It's very worth your time. The next thing I want to go over is secret missions. I'm not going to go through the ones in the DLC. I'll probably make that a separate video at some point. I just want to focus on the base game right now, aside from a couple of weapons that I shown earlier. But I'm going to focus on the main game secret missions. This one up here, I'm not going to talk about it. It was very hard to get. Creeper Woods unlocks Creepy Crypt. And I'll show you where it is. There's a little pathway they can see right there. And that's around where the creeper statue is. The first creeper statue you see, or it changed to an Enderman. You go and then you turn left. It's always here. You keep going down until you find this thing. You go in. I already have this, but there'll be a scroll right there. Press A to pick it up, easy, or click on it. Then the ambush will pop up and just deal with the ambush. Pretty simple. Now I'm very shocked. Oh, there's that. So, I'm surprised there wasn't any enchanted mobs in that. This is a very easy roll of enemies so far, but enchanted mobs are dumb. Creepy Crypt? Got it. Done. Next up, Soggy Swamp unlocks Soggy Cave. Alright, so we're coming up on Soggy Cave. We're in this little area right here, where there's a bridge there, 2, 3 bridges there, right here. You're gonna go down here, and there'll be an entryway right here. You go in. This one's gonna take a little bit more work than Creepy Crypt. Before you can grab the level, you must do an ambush. But also there's a trick where you can just go right here, through the gate, and hit the lever anyway. And just run forward and grab the level. Simple as that. The ambush gives you nothing. The ambush is completely pointless, it's just to hinder you. Nothing happened. No chest, no nothing. You just get the level. That's it. Soggy Cave. Done and done. Next up, our cave-in is in Pumpkin Pastures. Alright, so we're here where the secret missions location is. There's a boat right here. This is going to appear in 2 spots. Right here, or it can be, I'll show a picture of it. It's going to be down a curve and into a different pond that's below a mountain. I'll show a picture. But you go through these doors. You defeat a couple mobs in here. There's also a raid captain in here if you already beat the level. Just take care of the raid captain. And there's your level. Done and simple. Our cave-in, we got it. Next up, Desert Temple. Now, before I get into Desert Temple and finding the lower temple in there, Cactus Canyon, Redstone Mines, and Fiery Forge, and Obsidian Pinnacle do not have secret levels. It is only Creeper Woods, Soggy Swamp, Pumpkin Pastures, Desert Temple, and High Block Halls. And that's not including DLC, so this is just base game. Let's get in the Desert Temple and find Lower Temple. Alright, so we are in the area, the Lower Temple. The room's right here. You go in. There'll be a few mobs here to take care of. Take care of them. There'll be raid captains in here too if you already get the level. It's right there. Way over there. Now, you can't get to it right now. So what you have to do is find each of these pillars with the beacons on them, similar to Cactus Canyon. Go through and activate every single one of them. I believe there's 3, if not 4. Because sometimes they don't appear. Like that one. There's 3 here. And you go in, and you grab the level, and you get out of there. Alright, Lower Temple. Out of the way. The last secret mission I'm doing right now. Under Halls is in High Block Halls. What do you know? We're already here. You go up to this left shield, press A, press it in. The door opens. You go in, and the scroll's right here waiting for you to grab it. And that is all of the secret levels within the base game. Another thing that I forgot to mention earlier is that secret locations weren't always in the levels, guaranteed. Now they are, but they used to not to be, and some were even in different locations than others. You can go back to other videos to find out where they were back then, but it was always a random chance if those levels were appearing. Even in DLC, those were random chances for them to appear. But now they're always there, and you can always find the secret missions every time you enter a level. But it was very frustrating, taking days, even weeks, to see if the secret locations were even there to grab the secret missions in the first place. There were some that were guaranteed. I believe maybe Creepy Crypt and Underhalls were guaranteed, and the one in the church is guaranteed. The runes were always there. But yeah, secret missions used to be a pain to find. There's one last thing I want to go over before I end this video, and that is Ancient Hunts. Ancient Hunts are pretty good, not gonna lie. So you go into an Ancient Hunt, and you can sacrifice certain gears that will have runes attached to them, and those runes correspond to certain mobs depending on how many of them you have sacrificing right now. For example, if I take the sword, take the crossbow, Black Wolf armor, right here, just with these 3 artifacts with these 3 runes, there are 3 mobs that could appear during the Ancient Hunts. Now, depending on how much gear you have sacrificing here, depends on this number right here. And averaging 1 per level, that's pretty accurate. You can also invest enchantment points into it. which you have to level up first to get them. To get them back, at least. They don't ever come back. Now this is all gone once you go into Ancient Hunt with this stuff. All of it gone. And these mobs, when you defeat them, will give you some gilded gear. For example, this is a gilded Winter's Touch. The difference between gilded items and normal uniques is that you can see below the two orange bullet points, you can see a third one that says health potions give poison arrows. And that's tier 3 based on the Roman numeral next to it. Now, for example, on my Fighter's Bindings, we have tier 2 fire aspect that burns mobs. So, for example, with this is tier 3, it would be tier 3 of whatever the poison arrows are. Right here. It'll be tier 3. It'll give you 8 potion arrows, and it's built in, and you don't have to invest any points into it. The downfall of gilded gear, though, is that it takes 1 extra point per enchantment to get them to max. So it'll take 9 extra points to get it maximum compared to any other gear in the game. So let's say this one right here has 3 powerful enchantments, and they cost 9 each. Not 90. 9 each as is. So the critical hit takes 9 points to max up the full. It would take 12 each to max it up. It takes a lot more points. But it has an extra thing built in. Like this one right here is a tier 1 refreshment. It would only reduce potion cooldown by 1 second. So that's the thing with gilded gear. And you find certain rooms within Ancient Hunts that have like little eyes above them. Similar to this, except it'll be a little bit more purpley and a little bit more glowy. It'll be a purple aura on the door. You go in and there's one of 2 things that'll happen. Number 1, there'll be a gold room that looks like a bastion in Minecraft. It's a black and gray area with gold aura beneath you. You go through it, and it'll have gold chests that'll only give you gold. And you can go back and find some extra gold after you defeat a couple ambushes. That's all it does. There's no ancient mobs in there. If you go through the door and then there's like a themed little battle area, you found yourself a gilded mob, which is really good. And they will always drop some sort of gilded gear, and each ancient mob has their own gear table. For example, there's a mushroom ancient mob in the game that'll give katanas, dual crossbows, ghostly armor, and gauntlets. It'll give those 3 things. And when you defeat it, it'll be either one of those 4 things, gilded or not. Gilded always, unique or not. So this is pretty much endgame gear. And you will get gold throughout the mission. There's no gear drops in Ancient Hunts, by the way. There's no gear drops. You can go to the Pendulum Merchant, and he will always sell you gilded items. Like this one right here will be Shadow Walker, everything here, and then the spawns fire on roll. Pretty good, especially with it's a rolling armor, and it has multi-roll, and all that stuff. So he always sells you gilded items, and you can refresh his thing, but I've already refreshed this many times. It starts off with 10, then 20, then 40, and then goes on from there. So that's Ancient Hunts. And there is one thing I also want to point out, is if you go back over here, once you beat the game, I believe either on default or adventure, then you can go up here, not fall down again, seems familiar, and then you roll right there and not fall off and almost die in camp, which is really bad. Go, not fall off again, There we go, finally. Right here, there will be another diamond chest that can give any loot in the game. You open it, and you see what's inside. Just a little bonus chest in camp. And then I died. That's why you don't roll off mountains. That is pretty much my tips on the game. And hope you can find this video helpful in some way, shape, or form to you. This is dedicated to new players who need this kind of information from a person who's played since day one and has 860 hours in the game and still plays it to this day. And I'm making this in 2022 so that new players that come in can see this video and see where the updated locations are and updated tips are for certain enchantments because there's been buffs and nerfs. So that's going to be the end of the video. Drop a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you want more content like this. I'm going to be posting more Minecraft Dungeon content soon. And I will see you all on the next video. See you later. Bye-bye.